Welcome back to the channel. It's been a minute since I've made a YouTube video. Figure I'd give you guys a quick update, what's going on and what to expect from the JC Trails channel. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you know that I picked up a dirt bike, specifically a 2016 Honda CRF 250R. I've been riding that bike pretty much all summer. That's why I haven't been making much content about mountain biking. I've just been falling in love again with dirt biking. Picked that up from one of my buddies for a really good deal. It's been a really good bike to me, but I decided to get a new bike. So it's a 2023 Honda CRF 450R. Just ridden this thing just about 2 times, and it is sweet. It's a lot of bike for me, so if you guys are interested in watching me dirt biking and make an idiot myself, please leave the comments below. Also, if you guys tuned in for the Trail Pup content, she's been riding with me a lot. So much that she broke one of her nails off, and she's been out for a little while now. So Maisie the Trail Pup will get better. She'll be back on the channel. So if you're here for the pup, she'll be back. Another reason why I haven't been making much content on YouTube is because I've been getting requalified on the bigger airplane at my airline. This airplane actually goes to the West Coast of the United States. So stay tuned for a lot of West Coast riding. Also have a couple of videos in the works. A lot of review videos, so I'm building up a new frame. I'm gonna keep it hush hush for now, but once that's built up, I'm gonna get a couple of rides on it and bring you a review on that bike. Also, I got a bunch of gear to review for you guys. Specialized sent me a bunch of riding gear, so I'm gonna be trying that out for the next couple of rides and then bringing you my opinion on it. Why you tuned in to this video is I think this bike, it's kind of blurry behind me, could be my next enduro bike. Here it is, the 2022 Specialized Kenevo. Yes, it is an e-bike. It's electric. It doesn't look like one. That looks like my old Specialized Enduro I had before my wife ran over it. But yep, here it is. There's the little screen. Fire it up. Wait, fire it up. Yeah, there we go. Gives you a little assistance going uphill. Got this as a demo from Bike Barn Racing. They got a couple in stock, so go check them out. If you mention that I sent you there, they'll definitely give you a good deal on them. They also have the S-Works one and I think another Expert like this. But this one right here specifically is the Kenevo Expert model. 170 millimeters of travel on this full 29er bike. I've been enjoying my time on this thing. We're riding a lot of trails on it, and it is a really cool bike because it looks like an enduro. It feels just like my old enduro, but man, it pedals uphill like an XC bike. So really cool. I figure it's a beautiful day here in New England. A little chilly, but the sun's shining. And why don't we go ride this thing? I've been thinking maybe Diamond Hill. I love going there this time of year. It's a little muddy, a little slushy. And I think this bike just smashed the downhills. Let's go test it out. We'll talk about it then. Well, this is where the GoPro Hero 11 Mini failed me. All right, guys, we're here at Diamond Hill. I'm going to attempt to recreate my thoughts and opinions about this Kenevo SL Expert model. The audio is just in and out all day. Sounds like garbage. I'm definitely going to be returning the Hero Mini 11. So, we're here at Diamond Hill. One of my favorite spots to test like longer travel bikes because it's kind of the gnarlier terrain near my house, about an hour away from my house. And I had a Specialized Enduro before my wife ran over it. I've tested it here, so I was curious to see how this bike compared to that because it does look like and basically has the same geometry as my old Enduro. So the Kenevo SL Expert, I have it in the size S3 model. It probably weighs about 43 pounds, but on the trail, once you pick up speed, does not feel like it, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. So this is not a review about the Kenevo SL. It is an e-bike. I don't have much experience with e-bikes. I've ridden a couple here and there, but I am definitely not an e-bike reviewer. I'm definitely more of an analog mountain bike reviewer, but my point of this whole entire video is to bring you guys along and explain why this might be the future of mountain biking, especially for me, for enduro bikes, but we'll get into that as we proceed into the video. And if you guys have any questions about this Kenevo SL or any other topic about mountain biking, Make sure you fire those questions in the comment section below, and I'll make sure I'll get back to you. So, the Kenevo SL. Well, I'm on the size S3. I'm about 5'10", and this is like one of the bikes that fits me perfectly, just like the Enduro S3 size. It's generous reach for like basically a size medium, looking at about 460 millimeters. And I'll definitely leave a link to Specialized website below so you can check out all the geometry figures. But pretty slack bike. It has adjustable head cups. It's got adjustable bottom bracket height, just like the new Stump Jumper Evo. So pretty cool. You can really tailor it to your local trails or whatever riding you're doing. Also has this cool little screen on the top of the top tube. I think it's called the TCU. Basically, you can fine tune it and adjust it how you want it, but it gives you the parameters of like how fast you're going, how much battery you have, how many watts you're putting out, all that kind of stuff. So let's just get right into it. I won't waste your time boring you with a lot of POV and me voicing over the video, but we're going to talk about, first of all, how this bike climbs. Obviously, it's an e-bike, so there's a lot of assistance going up. The wattage and the battery amp hour, whatever you want to call it, I'll leave it on the screen here, but I don't know anything about e-bikes really, but just I'm going to give you my impression of how it feels. But this bike does scoot uphill pretty well. I mean, our demo on this bike is that it has an extremely low bottom bracket. You do have that flip chip option on the horse link down by your axle. And I had that thing in high right away because you'll be pedal striking everywhere. Also, I want the seat tube angle to be at the steepest possible because when you're climbing on this bike, the seat angle is not that steep. It's about 76 degrees, but it does tend to almost wheelie up, not because of the power, just because of the geo. So you really have to get out of the saddle and hold that front end down. But climbing on it's very comfortable. Otherwise, it does give you pretty good assistance. If you are not in turbo mode, though, it doesn't feel that energetic. I feel like if I would left it in the lowest mode or even the middle mode, I could beat it on a cross country bike going uphill. Yes, I'd be a little more tired, but just putting out the watts, I feel like you could beat this bike going uphill. If it's in turbo mode, forget it. I'm not keeping up. But so to summarize how it climbs, it's pretty good. Just make sure you leave that bottom bracket flip chip in the high position, or not the bottom, the horse link chip, I should say. Leave that in the high position. And you're just going to get used to having pedal strikes and getting out of the saddle to keep the front end down. If you get those things down, you're pretty good. It's a comfortable bike to climb on, no big deal. All right, guys, let's get in the meat and potato of this video and talk about why I think this is the future of mountain biking. I know it's not a full mountain bike or a real mountain bike, whatever you guys are going to say. It's an e-bike, but hear me out. At least for me, I think this will be the future of like enduro mountain biking, or not racing per se, but more of personal long travel bikes. Yes, I love my Specialized Enduro, but when I drive to Diamond Hill, it's about an hour away, especially if I went in the wintertime. It's a heavy bike to climb on, so obviously I'm going to climb a little bit slower than riding my XC bike. Trails are pretty gnarly. Not too crazy, but it is nice to have a long travel bike and really blitz the downhills. So it fits in that way, but then I have to turn around and come right back up. And, maybe I'll get let's say 8 laps in, and then I got to go home. I'm tired. I got a good workout at least, but I didn't get the experience of riding a lot of downhill trails. So hear me out. If you have this Kenevo SL, which rides downhill pretty much exactly like my old Enduro, I'll leave my review right here, a little card up for y'all to see if you haven't seen that video. But I could probably do double the laps, let's say 16 laps in the same amount of time. I get that all the experience. I get the crashes in. I get the practice of gapping, something I didn't have the energy for on my regular mountain bike. So when I do go back on my regular mountain bike, I got that in the first or 2 laps. I could probably start doing things I didn't do on the regular analog bike. Once I started descending on this and the speeds picked up on the downhills, it pretty much felt like a Specialized Enduro. That's what I really like about these lightweight e-bikes. Once you pick up a little speed, you can still hop over stuff and pre-hop or in gap different sections of trail. You can even pop off a little roots, whatever you want to do. It doesn't feel that heavy. Obviously, if you're riding like your local trails, which are tight and squiggly, this is a long bike, so I wouldn't buy this for that. But if you have a big pedal up front and some really cool downhills, steep, techie, this Kenevo SL is definitely a way to go. So also, what I could see this bike becoming really popular, and I think a couple places have already adopted this, bike parks without lifts. So like the ones in North Carolina, my local bike park, Highland Mountain Bike Park in New Hampshire, Every Wednesday after the bike park closes down, like the actual lift access, they have the Freedom Trail, which is a green trail, and you can pedal up it. So a lot of people bring e-bikes and they get hot lap this thing because you riding the e-bike actually goes faster than the lift. So I think a lot of places will start doing rentals at bike parks, or a lot of bike parks will start doing rentals of e-bikes, and you could just hot lap that. You could pedal yourself up. You're still getting a workout. You're not burnt out when you get to the top, and you can have a lot of fun going downhill. And the bike pretty much feels like a regular mountain bike, at least these lightweight ones. All right, guys, I won't bore you with much more POV of me riding at Diamond Hill on this Kenevo SL. So if you have any questions, leave in the comments below. But descending on it, it's a very plush bike, 170 millimeters of travel. You can definitely blitz any trail on this Kenevo SL or even a Specialized Enduro. Very similar geometry, very familiar feel. I mean, this bike probably weighs a little bit, maybe 10 pounds more than my Enduro, if that. And it just feels identical. I felt comfortable on it right away. I highly recommend it for someone who is in my situation where you don't have a lot of time to ride, or if you where you live doesn't have that gnarly of trail. So when you do have to or want to ride some kind of gnarly trails, you have to drive pretty far, and then you're pretty strapped for time when you get there, and you only get a couple laps in, so it's pretty much not worth it. But with this bike, you can definitely get more laps in, more experiences riding gnarly trails, which in turn is going to make you a better rider on your regular bike. But I am intrigued by these new lightweight e-bikes. I definitely want to get my hands on the new Trek Fuel EXE. If it rides anything like the new Fuel EX, I'm going to be stoked on it because I've heard it's quiet and it's not that heavy, fun to ride. This bike does annoy me, this Kenevo SL, because it does have a whiny motor. But other than that, really fun bike to ride. Go check out Bike Barn Racing if you're interested in one. They could hook you up. Tell them I sent you. Sorry about this hodgepodge video. GoPro Hero Mini 11 let me down. I'll make sure I just use my GoPro Hero 9, have crystal clear audio. But stay tuned, guys. I definitely got some cool videos coming out. Review on the Trek Fuel EX. Review on the new RockShox suspension. I've tried the new Lyric, the new Pike, their new Air Shock, their new Coil Shock. So stay tuned for that. My opinions on that. Also, guys, I want to know what you think about these lightweight e-bikes. Are they going to take over the future like Skynet, or are we going to be riding analog bikes into the foreseeable future? It's good to be back. Happy New Year, guys. Hopefully, it's a good year for mountain biking in 2023. I'll catch you on the next video, and peace.